Good morning, good morning, good morning, friends. I'm so happy to be out here with you on this beautiful morning in my garden. This is definitely going to be a video filled with lots of motivation. I'm going to share with you 3 things that I'm just so excited for myself about. That are real reflections of one of my biggest goals for this year, and that was to be intentional. But more importantly than that, I really want to get you motivated and get you encouraged to get going on whatever you're going to do as far as growing food this year, because it's March 15th, and in Arizona, that is the time to drop it like it's hot in your garden and get everything and anything that you want for this season going. Now, this is the time of year where, just like everything's waking up in spring, new energy wakes up around my channel. I've got all of you that are here with me every week or when you can, but then we always have some new friends pop up who just got energized to start a garden, and maybe they saw what you can plant in March and they got excited and now they're ready to start a garden. So for you friends that are just joining us or just beginning your journey into gardening, this is just as much for you as it is for my friends that are here every day. Because, like I said, now is the time to get into action. March 15th. So we've got 2 weeks basically until April. March is a very long month though. And then April is a beautiful month of 80-degree temperatures. Then we bounce into May where we get into 90-degree temperatures. So that's why it's really important to get the things that you're going to do done right now. So let's start with tomatoes. If you do know me, you know I am a tomato fanatic. So this week is the week that you absolutely have to get your tomatoes in the ground, in a bag, in whatever you're going to put them in your raised bed. They need that time in the next 2 weeks to get situated so that all throughout April they can take in all that lovely warmth and sunshine, get all that pollination going, set some fruit. So by the time it comes into May and it's hot and they're not feeling the need to pollinate anymore, you've got a lot of fruits already on all of those plants. So you've got to get your tomato transplants in this week, not from seed. There's probably the only tomato that you could plant from seed right now here in Arizona would maybe be a cherry tomato. So now what if you're like, hey Jer, I'm not crazy like you and your friends that are always starting your plants in December and other crazy times. But that's okay. There's a lot of plant sales going on this weekend. A lot of garden groups are having plant sales. If you look up at the Maricopa Master Gardners, I'm sure they're having plant sales this weekend or throughout the rest of March. Also this weekend, anybody that wants to meet up, that does a meetup with us at Summer Winds, lots of us, and you know I do. You'll see in a minute when I show you my 3 favorite things, that I've got plenty of extra tomatoes to share. So like I said, the important thing with tomatoes, whether you buy them at Summer Winds, buy them at one of the big box stores, you just got to get them in the ground or in their spot in the next week. Now the rest of the things that we can plant this month, like your melons, your cucumbers, your squashes, all those other things, drop seeds. Keep dropping seeds. You can go buy transplants if you want. It's definitely going to jumpstart at the situation if you go get a transplant from somewhere. I planted some a couple weeks ago, but quite frankly, I really haven't planted any melons. I've got cucumbers that I planted, and some squash, but this week I'm going to be doing a mass soaking of all the melon seeds and all the other things that I want to put into my bales. This weekend I get irrigation in my yard, and so that's going to flood. I'm going to show you in a minute where my tomatoes that I got planted already are, but I'm going to plant more. However, with this weekend getting irrigation on Friday, I'm going to do my last big planting of tomatoes that are going actually into the ground or into bales this weekend. That I'm doing it that way they've got time to settle into the ground before the next irrigation, instead of just kind of getting washed away by the big flood as soon as they get planted. So as soon as that water recedes, I'll be dropping plants in the ground over there. So, and then once you get those tomatoes in the ground, it's time to do the tomato happy dance every day, any day that you can get a chance. Give them all the love. Make sure they're getting adequate amounts of water, plenty of sunshine. They need as much sun as possible, especially in the next 2 weeks and in throughout April. And once we get into the 90s is where you're either going to want to start using some type of artificial shade or microclimates in your yard to protect your more tender plants. So this is a time to get excited and get pumped and get going. And you're not too late to the game. I want you to know that you're not too late to the game. It doesn't matter if you haven't started a bunch of seeds and done all the things that we've been doing. You can do that next fall, okay? Now you just need to get proactive and get going. Now, on a side note, how do you do that, Jer? How do you just get going? Well, this is what I did besides doing what I did with my tomatoes, back, I think it was around February 10th, I sat down with all my seed boxes. I pulled out all the containers of things that I could plant at this time of the year. I went through every single seed packet to look at what squashes I wanted to plant, what cucumbers I wanted to plant, and then I made a list of all of those different plants. And then once I did that, I decided based on what's going on in my yard, how many, how much, where at, and how I was going to do it. So I knew that I had my bags to work with, I had my straw bales to work with, and then I had in-ground planting. But I also knew that my in-ground planting would be one of the last things due to ground temperatures, and that one of the first things would be my bags. So that's then how I organized the seeds that I was going to plant, based on where and when they were going to go in. So for you, I would just suggest thinking really about what do you eat? What does your family enjoy eating? And that is where your list should start. Don't think that just because I've got delicata squash that you need delicata squash. If your family's never ate delicata and this is your first year garden, focus on something that your family is going to eat. That way when you go to reap the benefits of it, you're actually reaping them, and it's not just something that gets set on the counter, because you want your hard work to pay off into something that actually ends up on your plate. And that's the next thing that I'm going to be super, super intentional about this summer, is making sure that, now quite honestly, I eat a lot of tomatoes and I eat a lot of stuff right in the garden, but I want to be real intentional about every day bringing something from the garden to the table and making something with that, and being very, very intentional about feeding from my garden, because that's the reason why I'm going so big and so crazy. It's not because I have all this land now. It's because I am moving towards, as I've moved through these last 4 years of gardening, now I want to be producing food. I want to be preserving food. I want to be becoming more of my own point of sustainability in whatever way I can, right here in this completely urban setting in the middle of Phoenix. So I hope that this is a bit encouraging to you. Let's go over and check out the 3 points of intentionality that I'm just so proud of. One of the things that I'm so in love with right now are my ranunculus. That one's really big. This one's pink. This one's going to be white, and there's bunches of them. And I love this, and look at this garlic. These two things right here are super signs to me, along with the next thing I'm going to show you, of how I stayed true to intentionality, because both of these things, I planted the ranunculus back in October, the garlic in November or December, and this is how long I waited for this beauty and for this pleasure that I'll get to experience from the garlic. And so please, please find your intentionalities. This weekend, the girls and I got 14 tomato plants and 2 peppers set up in these bags. We made this soil last week. It was a lot. And a lot of the bags have marigolds. Not all of them, so I'm going to plant some more to go in. Marigolds are good companions for pests and otherwise. This is my third point of intentionality because I just truly am so amazed and just excited for myself that with great intention during the week of Christmas, when my husband is having his appendicitis rupture, has to have emergency surgery, and in the midst of that, I still focused and got these seeds planted so that I could reap the benefits at this time of the year. Like, I just can't believe it. And so these are the ones that are going in the bags, and this is not their home. They're just here because we've got this all cleared out to get the tree trimmed. These are here just to be out of the way of the tree trimming. And also this weekend, well, on Friday the 18th, I'm getting irrigation, so they're here to kind of hold the mulch down. And as soon as the irrigation recedes, then I'm gonna plant tomatoes and peppers and all kinds of stuff in this bed here. These tomatoes will be going into different places, bales in that bed over there, whereas these are kind of all extras. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with them, along with, you know, all of those over there that are to share and sell, however that goes. Okay, so like I said, if you want to meet up with us this weekend at Summer Winds, it'll probably be around 9. Definitely check into my Facebook group or find me over on Instagram at All Purpose Mom on Instagram. If you want to email me, it's allpurposemom4, like the number 4, at gmail.com. And then over on Facebook, it's All Purpose Mom Seed Swap. And so we'll definitely have the for sure time in there in the meetup situation. So if you don't have anything, it doesn't matter. Bring your love for gardening and your passion to grow food, and we will share all the plants that we have with you. But if you got stuff that you don't want to go to waste and you'd like to share, we'd love for you to bring that out too. So happy gardening, friends. I'm so excited to see what you've got going on. And that's another thing, is my Facebook group page over there is the wonderful place. I love it most because it's where you get to come on and show me little videos of your garden and show me pictures of what's going on and ask all of our little community questions about things that you're concerned about in your garden. So let's get growing happy and get those tomatoes in the ground this weekend and this week, and then let's get all the seeds going for all the yummy food that we want to eat. Have the best day ever, friends.